Specifically, I want to discuss why we are seeing a hyper-polarized world of media and how that is affecting society at large. In the past, it's my belief that the news, of course, there was always nuance to it, there was always opinion, but they largely tried to report what took place. This was because there were very few news stations and there wasn't a lot of competition, and you eventually started to see it break down. You had Fox News come out, then you had CNN, and eventually, in order to garner viewership, they realized that by offering opinion pieces, by offering a more polarized view of the world, they could take viewers from one another. They could cater to one specific faction on the political spectrum and garner them as subscribers, as viewers.
So then you go from maybe 8 corporations that are able to divide up the pie into a technological revolution, which is YouTube, enabling individual creators to cast themselves and their opinions out to the world. Suddenly you have a plethora of content that people can choose from. And this, of course, divides the pie into infinite number of slices as people vie for their own subsection of it. This ratchets up the media's polarization of itself, and you get people like Don Lemon, like Chris Cuomo, and this hyper-partisan game, for example, that CNN is playing, that MSNBC is playing. And meanwhile, YouTube sees that they might have an issue because they are becoming hyper-polarized. A lot of people are taking offense, and YouTube being somewhat on the left, so now suddenly YouTube, who has built their business off of the backs of creators and building them up and showing people videos of interest, is radically reducing the new creators that they are showing. So it's virtually impossible for a seed to grow. YouTube is literally drowning out the sun like a rainforest canopy drowns out the sun to seedlings. YouTube, which has become this massive tree,
is primarily recommending just mainstream media. After you see this video, stay tuned. You'll probably see a recommendation for Fox News, maybe for CNN, but it's unlikely going to be another independent creator. This, of course, is forcing people to go out there and build their audience by polarizing themselves, by moving to one side of the spectrum or another, because there are two things that gain subscribership. Either really good, funny, or warm content, like a baby panda sneezing,
or rage bait like Alex Jones,
or flat earthers. This is what garners subscriberships and loyalty because people see it and it confirms their bias. Specifically, those on the fringes are going to be the most loyal psychologically because there aren't a lot of people out there that are supporting their views. And if you come in and you say, hey man, the world is flat and you're entirely right, you are going to slice that very small faction that believes it, and you are going to gain very loyal subscribers. But this is ongoing throughout all rungs of this political spectrum. If you come at it and you have a lot of rage and you say this is the worst thing ever, you are going to appeal to people's emotions, and they are going to click on your video, they are going to share it, whether or not they agree with you or not. Some people are going to say, look at this guy, he's completely right, go for it, man, keep on preaching. And other people are going to say, look at this idiot. And those people who say, look at this idiot, will be less likely to share it. They will be much more likely to share than if you're somewhere in the middle, if you don't offer a polarized view of the world that appeals to people's emotions. Because when you play on people's emotions, you hook them. You hook them.
Gave your mother a taste. Put the hook into her. Now she doped up good and proper.
Strategy for short-term success, you hook them. You hook them good and proper. You know, they come back for the endorphins that you're able to give them. They come back for the rage, for the humor, for the laughs, or for just the hatred that they have of you. But they'll come back. If you are totally offensive to some people, they will come back because they love the feeling of being offended. The more polarized you become, the more you say, look at these libtards, or look at these idiotic Trumpists, the more people will engage, which is the metric that YouTube wants, because YouTube is a business like any other, and they need to make money. They've got to keep people on the platform. That's how they make their revenue.
So CNN, Fox News, New York Times, they see this and they say, hey, we are going to try to keep our subscriber base. What do we need to do that? We need to offer opinions. We need to appeal to their confirmation bias. And we're going to go out and we're going to create clickbait, rage bait material.
So to exemplify this, and there are examples on both sides of the aisle, but the New York Times, which is the paper of record, the old gray lady, the trusted source for many a person. And they had, just on March 23rd, they had a headline that they changed on the basis of their viewership, on the basis of their subscribership, 3 different times because the leftists got angry with them. Originally, the headline stated, Democrats block action on $1.8 trillion stimulus. That then got changed to Democrats block action on stimulus plan seeking worker protections, which then further got morphed into partisan divide threatens deal on stimulus plan. You see how each iteration of the headline moved more and more to one side that would be palatable to one side of the political spectrum, which of course is their viewership, their subscribership, their base. And they're trying to appeal to them, to hang on to them, and not to get them angry, not to see their subscribers. Because again, it's all about money. These papers, these media outlets are there to make money.
But when this comes back to YouTube, when you are only propping up the elite media, in other words, the media that's been out there the longest, that has the most money behind them, the CNN, the Fox News, the MSNBCs, and you don't support independent creators who come at problems with an independent view or a more nuanced view, then the only way to build an audience is to appeal to people on a rage basis, on a confirmation bias basis. And this, unfortunately, polarizes our society further. And I understand that it's an economic thing, and YouTube wants to make money and appeal to advertisers. And as a Google shareholder, I fully encourage that. But nevertheless, this is ultimately what creates a large division in society, the polarization of the media, where the more nuanced voices are drowned out. Peace out. Blessings to everybody. If you like this video, share it, subscribe.